This is absolutely one of the most heartbreaking scenes in Attack on Titan, but I realized something watching this. As Marco is stripped from his ODM gear by Annie and left to die, we see Annie is very conflicted to do this and these scenes. Annie knew this was a wrong thing to do, but decided to follow through completely still. In this video, we're going to examine how Annie has done the right thing in the past, but then switched to doing this wrong act, how doing the right thing should always be what we strive to do, and how we should not let outside forces influence us to do the wrong thing. Hello guys, we create banging anime videos from recommendations, breakdowns, and relating anime to real life. We do it all here. Let's get back into the video. From the moment Annie hears Reiner say that Marco overheard them talking, you can see the distress in her face. Heck, she even calls them shitheads for being so stupid and getting caught. But not just because they got caught. There's something else going on here that is super important that I'll explain later. Reiner tells Annie she should be the one to remove Marco's gear because he has lost some trust from her. He brings up how she saved Connie's life, risking hers, and Reiner said she did not have to do that for this scummy race. This is where I want to stop and recognize something really important that has happened to Annie. These three were sent here on a mission and brainwashed since childhood that these Eldians in the walls were devils. Insignificant people that they could care less if any of them died. They were all taught by external forces, and when I say external forces, I just mean like people, government, and their family. They get to these walls finally to complete this mission, and they start forming bonds with these devils. The bonds form so deeply, and so much so that even Annie saved a so-called devil for absolutely no reason. She was not gonna get anything out of it, but still saves him because it's the right thing to do. I think at this point it is safe to say that Annie realizes these Eldians aren't devils, because she saved one of them on her own accord. She did not have to do this, and no one told her to save Connie. We see Reiner throw shade at her when she saves him, but we can't really see how Annie thinks because, well, her facial expressions are always so blank. In this moment, Annie acted from within herself and not from someone telling her what to do. She knew that saving Connie, no matter risking her life, was the right thing to do. Now we've discussed Annie acting out of moral goodness. Let's compare it to her not acting out of moral goodness when it came to Marco's situation. And there are many things that tie into why. First, she is surrounded by her real comrades and not the cadet class anymore. Second, Reiner is the leader and is telling her what to do to earn his trust back. And we see Annie genuinely does not want to follow through with this, but has to earn his trust back some way, so she follows through. She hesitates, but ultimately she's influenced by Reiner. Third, she's also influenced by the people back home. She remembers her upbringing and the mission she is supposed to complete to see her father again. All of these are external sources. This is a very extreme situation that Annie was placed in, but now that we finished dissecting this, we can review it and see the major lessons within here. Annie knows right from wrong, and we can clearly see this as she saves Connie without thinking twice about it. And when we see her struggling to decide to do the right thing, save Marco or the wrong thing and kill him. This is a reminder to us as people and humans that doing the right thing should always be the thing we pick to do because it is the right thing to do. Hopefully we don't get put into extreme situations like Annie, but I would like to believe we would do the right thing for each other in any situation, such as being honest with people because honesty is a virtuous trait, and lying to someone just distorts the reality completely. Helping out your friends and taking care of them when they need help with something, but not because you expect them to return the favor, which is not a bad thing to expect, but because you genuinely care for them. It's doing the right thing for the right reasons, and even in situations where doing the right thing doesn't look like the easiest to do. We see that Annie is not only upset because they got caught, but because she knows a decision is going to be made that will determine Marco's life and not in a good way. She knows that taking his life would be a wrong, immoral act to do, and we see her shaking taking off Marco's ODM gear. Annie knew this was wrong, but she let outside forces peer pressure her into killing a friend. Here, not just Annie in this, Reiner and Bertolt are also victims due to their upbringing. Reiner and Bertolt are in the same position as Annie. They're letting the outside forces influence them. And we can clearly see that when Marco is dying, Reiner feels so much guilt in what he's done, and he knows it's the wrong thing to do. He completely creates a different personality, and we see all three of them crying as they see their friend die. And they know what the right thing to do was, which is to not kill him, but they don't follow through with that. Here we learn an important lesson. Don't let outside forces influence you to do the wrong actions. I encourage you to do the right thing because it is the right thing to do, and to influence others to do the right things as well. Don't let people influence you to do the wrong things. You know deep down what's right and wrong. This was the overanalyzation of Annie's character. She already knew what was right from wrong, and she had chosen what was right with Connie and saving his life. But then she ends up doing the wrong action and killing a close friend from her cadet class, Marco. The lesson here is that you know what's right and what's wrong, and I encourage you to do the right thing and not fall victim to doing the wrong thing because it's the easier thing or whatever. Don't let these external forces tell you what to do. Really think about it for a second and analyze the situation. So those were the two major lessons: doing the right thing even if it's the tough choice, and not letting external forces influence you completely. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing for more weekly anime videos. I've been your host, HR Godspeed, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.